Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Our last guest is a Grammy nominated rising star, a triple threat singer, songwriter, musician that has truly made a name for herself in the business as one of the most sought out saxophone players in entertainment. She's toured the world for years with icons such as Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, George Michael, Tina Turner, and many more. That was just to name a few. But now she's performing on her own because she's ready to give the world a taste of her own soulful sound and sultry voice. Everyone, please welcome singer, songwriter, and saxophone player, Orange Coffee.
Hey, thank you for having me so much. Thank you for having me open. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being with us. Let's start first and foremost with the name Orange Coffee.
I it's new. It's something that I felt that was needed. I toured with Beyonce as Cathy Rodriguez or Cat Rodriguez for a long time. You can hear her saying, "Catty, blow your horn now,"
Uh huh.
uh, in the middle of Crazy in Love. Um, and then I toured with her for about 10 years. And then kind of life hit. My dad passed away. I got a divorce. Life humbles you. And I became a teacher. And so I went into education, and I've been now doing education for the last 9 years. And last year, I really wanted to step back in the scene, have a pop, something that stood out, something that also divided me from just a sax player or just a teacher. Um, and I really just went back to the drawing board and I wanted to see what my artistry was looking like. And I thought, I need a better name. Cat Rodriguez doesn't just roll off the tongue. So I was like, okay, The Who, Rolling Stones, if you think about them, they're not names that make just a lot of sense, but they stick, right? They
Right.
stick with you.
Right.
And orange coffee, that I love coffee. It wakes you up in the morning. I'm a breath of fresh air. I'm gonna wake you up, baby. Orange is my favorite. Orange is my favorite color. I dyed my hair recently. It just happened to come out orange, so it just all like fit, you know. Um,
I'm feeling you.
and
I'm
a lot,
feeling you. I'm feeling your rebirth, right? Because that's what it sounds like you're sharing with us.
yes, it is. It's totally a rebirth.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, but we do have to talk about what that was like for you touring with Beyonce. I'm sorry, we have to just a little bit. We got to go over that because you just announced everybody. Your name is Cat Rodriguez, but I'm sorry, mi gente. Her name is Orange Coffee now, right? However, you were known all those years for touring with her, and so I just wonder what that lifestyle was for you touring and being almost an accompaniment, right? Primarily?
Mhm,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was a learning experience. When I first started, I was around 21. I'm about to be 40 this year.
All
So
right now.
we're going to put that in perspective.
Uh huh.
I was 20, I was a spring chicken. I was young. She was really young. So it was a different time in her life. As I look back, I grew up as a woman with her.
That's so
I went on
awesome.
her Beyonce Experience was the first tour that I did with her. Then we did I Am Yours. I did the Ford tour. I did Mrs. Carter tour. So I did a lot of tours with her, and I saw her grow from just being a young lady to a married woman to a mother, and it was beautiful. She also blessed me on stage. I mean, there were many moments, five of them that I could recall, that she just passed the stage to me and just let me shine, and I cannot I can't thank her enough for that. I'm very, very excited and grateful for what she has done to my life. She's called me plenty of times. We shall see what the future holds. You
Nice.
might hurt, you might not.
Right. Right.
Check, we shall see in the future. But
Right. Well, you know,
I love the fact that I was blessed with that time.
well, no, it's not even that. It's just what you're sharing now. It's like it's a different time, and you have access to her, and you have a relationship. You formed a relationship, and that to me holds the value. That's where the value lies. It's one thing to just be performing with someone, but it's another thing to build a relationship.
Absolutely. When they call you back, that's when you know that you have built that relationship. And I'm blessed to say that she has called me back plenty of times, and that's a blessing that I don't take lightly.
That's awesome. And she is a mother now, and you're a mother too. You're a mother
Yes.
too, and I would like to just have a brief conversation about the activism work that you're doing right now, that you're currently doing, with regards to an incident that occurred with your son. Um,
Mhm.
and for those of you who may not know of this particular incident, her son was actually accused of taking someone's cell phone, and he was aggressively attacked at a hotel, and the attacker felt as if though she had every right,
Sure did.
with
She did.
no just of evidence or anything. And at the time, if I'm not mistaken, your son was 14 years old.
Yes, he was 14. He just turned 17. So this is about it. It was a turning point of going into 15. So it's about 2 years old. Um, that when this happened 2 years ago, uh, I went into very this mode at
Right,
that
right, right.
moment.
Right. You went into mama bear mode. It's mama bear mode because he was young and confused. Because I watched some interviews, and the issue is that um, there was an assumption made, and he's a youth, and he didn't really comprehend, based on what I saw, why this person would even attempt, like, would make these accusations without
Right,
ever even knowing him, or even having an exchange or encounter.
right. So when this incident happened, um, obviously I stepped in, um, and in the beginning it was just more to find clarity of why she thought it was okay.
Right.
Um, but unfortunately, she went on national TV and had an interview with a very well-known person, and she felt that it was just something that she could just do and just move on with her life. It was like, I said sorry, so let's move on. And at that moment, I realized that she didn't really understand that it could have been a life or death moment.
Right.
That happened. Emmett Till, he was falsely accused, and that one false allegation got him to a place where we've seen again and again and again and again that this has happened. Just one person making an allegation because they feel like it.
Right.
She knew it wasn't her phone. She left this phone in a taxi. Since then, she has been, she's been charged with a hate crime, um, and so I'm glad that we stuck by it. I'm glad that we stuck by it and we found the truth, because many times in our cases, when you are a person of color, Black, Latino, it's just many times you don't find the truth. There are people that do not have that. That their sons are dead and have nothing, no justice,
Right,
because it's
right.
not
I
just
mean, right, right. Even if there's justice, there's still no justice because the life has been taken. Whereas you at least can still hug your son. So I get, right. I get it. I get it. I get it. But you still stood up, and you still made an issue out of it, because it sounds like it should have been something taken lightly, and I'm glad that you didn't. You didn't allow that, right? Because that's really what it boils down to. It's kind of like, no, we're not going to just brush this off and let it dissipate,
absolutely.
and you're still in litigation, right?
Yeah. The mother, I would say that I had a lot of support from I'm sorry,
That's
the
okay.
mother of Eric Gardner. When I saw her next to me, I'm like, wait a minute, you're supporting, your son is dead and my son is here, and you're supporting me. And that was just a moment that I understood, okay, I need to stand by this cause. Not only this cause, I'm an advocate in the schools as a teacher when it comes to speaking about our history, something that's taken all out. So I'm an advocate of after school. I fight for that every day. I mean, there are things that are being taken out of the schools, like our which is one of the reasons why these things are happening every day. A young lady that believes that she can accuse a young man of something like that, call the cops, attack him in front of everyone, not one, not two, but three times. Something has to change,
Right.
and we have to stand by that in teaching our history, because that's the reason why it keeps on happening.
Right.
We don't know our history. And so that's how I'm an advocate. It's not just a one-time thing. I take kids under my wing. I have a few now, about 15 that I see every week, at least 2 or 3 times a week, that I speak to, that I find lessons for, that I'm a mentor, or I find tutor for. So it's an ongoing process.
Right. And it's beautiful. That's what it's all about. And so, I'd like to know how all of this feeds your music and your creation.
Well, I feel like I'm finally home, which is the name of my album. Um, when you get somewhere, when you arrive, home is not necessarily a box where you just go and things feel distant. Home is a place where you feel a
Safe.
sense of connectivity, yes, safe, a connection, loyalness, just feeling secure. I'm finally home. I'm finally there. Sometimes it takes time, experience to get there.
And when you say home,
And
you're referencing a self-reflective home.
yes, and in the home and in the song, we're talking about self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
I speak about love. I speak about the song is actually it's actually produced by my son, which is an amazing. I love the fact that he was the one that produced my first coming out song. Yeah, so it's a turnaround. It took 2 years for me to get back on my feet, and I feel like after that incident happened, there was a lot of self-reflection.
Uh-huh.
Um, I stood out from tour for 9 years for my son, and then after those 2 years happened, I saw him go into a shelf for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then now when I start seeing him grow and take to music, and for myself I did the same thing, and I'm just so grateful that he could do that with me.
That's amazing. That is amazing for you both to heal together in this like a juxtapose of a dynamic, because if he's your producer, he's the one running the show kind of sorta. And so there's this support system of empowerment while working intergenerationally. That's amazing.
Yes. And so it's out, but the album is released March 20th.
Okay.
And so what you're going to be seeing is a cover, because I haven't performed a live show yet with my new songs. I love this song because it's a song that reflects our people, and it's connected to me because it's a song that reflects our people. It reflects um, the tone, the rhythm of our people. Dream of a world my soul is from. I hear a When you hear that, I hear a stroke on a drum, shades of delight, cocoa hue. That song embodies that transition, right? And so that's what you're gonna hear. And then on March 20th, you're gonna be able to hear me on all platforms with my new music, a little clip of home, cause I'm home, 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 and just that in itself, I'm here.
I
I've
know.
arrived.
No, I love it. I love it. I just feel special. I feel super special. I'm like, oh, I got this exclusive going on here. Unplugged.
Thank you for having me, because I'm gonna tell you right now, these doors are opening. I can't tell you what's gonna happen in the next few weeks, but I'm excited. I have a live show at Birdland on the 20th, but I have some great news coming up that I'm just so excited to tell. So thank you for being the first person on believing me and actually opening this door, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna be hating on both of us right now in a couple of weeks, honey.
Brava. Orange coffee, everyone. All right.
Thank
No, thank you. Thank you. And I want to tell you guys, don't go anywhere, because when we return, Orange Coffee is going to perform for us after the break. You don't want to miss.